I'm back in Tuckers Nob. We're on the edge of the remnant here. This is all zoned for clearfell, and sure enough, here we have a ringwood, and a ringwood that is covered in scratches. So I've come further down the remnant now. Part of it is taken up with a drainage system, but here is a good example of an area that is in the clearfall zone that is most definitely not plantation. It's a lovely little remnant just up from the creek. There's red carabine, yellow carabine, corkwood, tallow wood, tree ferns, cheese trees. Beautiful. So I'm inside an unmapped, unmarked forest remnant within the so-called plantation of Tuckers Nob 2627. Here it is, the remnant, marked on the logging plan with a prescription of so-called late age thinning, assess extent in field. And here is this area in 1974. Clearly not plantation. I'll go back to before the plantation was established, 1964. Here we are again. There's clearly growth inside. In 74, it had not been cleared, and here we are. It's in good ecological condition, full of tallow wood. There's a nice tallow wood that dates from that period. And over here is an ironbark, not a planted tree. Three-stemmed ironbark. And I'll just wander a little bit further inside. You can see this is natural forest. There is no evidence of plantation in here whatsoever. No lantana. The plantation you can see just up here, and there is the lantana, but not in this lovely little area. Here's a casuarina. Down here is a bloodwood. More tallow wood. And we can see the vines and bloodwood. As I say, a completely unmarked, unprotected, original piece of remnant forest inside the Tuckers Nob plantation. So it's pretty much just after first light. I visited this remnant before and taken all the records of the original trees. I'm a little bit further down the drainage. I'm very interested in this patch here. I'm just coming into it now. I noticed it from the near map imagery from last December. And if we go to the harvest plan operational map, here's the remnant and the tree records that I took. I'm just here. I'm inside a proposed logging area for so-called late stage thinning, which in my opinion is code for native forest logging inside the plantation. And it's very dark, but here we have a really beautiful ringwood, and up here another ringwood. This is a really magical piece of rainforest here. Not a plantation tree in sight. I'm inside another remnant. It crosses the streamside reserve, but it's also available for logging. And here it is in 1974. Here are large individual trees, and sure enough, we've got our ringwoods. But look, I'm just going to take you through this because this is such a beautiful patch. I'm prepared to say that what's happened here is there's been some planting on the edge. But inside we actually have original blue gum forest. On the basis of the size of the trees and the canopies in the photograph, I would say that we're walking through original forest here with plantation on the outside. Looking across over there, again the lantana and the plantation, but this is in really good ecological condition, full understory, and some really lovely trees, and of course some ringwoods and other rainforest understory. So this is the imagery from '64. I've identified these two remnants here. Probably mapped them over different occasions, which is why I didn't make them into one. I'm just close to the little remnant that I've been filming and getting trees in recently. But if I go from 64 to 74, you can see that the plantation lines stop just here, and then this area remained. And here is a classic example of the dangers of having forestry in here. Here's a ringwood, here's a second ringwood, but here is an invasive, possibly, or original forest, but the plantation starts over there. But check out these ringwoods. They are absolutely endangered here because when we put on the logging plan, you can see that this is in the late stage thinning. And again, if you remember, I said late stage thinning could be code for native forest. This is an absolute margin call as to whether this is original. I wouldn't say it was planted. I'd say it's a piece of plantation ingrowth into the rainforest. An invasive, if you like, but I can't say. All I can say is this area should most definitely not be logged. And here we are in the wood production area. So forestry's made a big deal in Tuckers Nob about the remnant trees that it's left. You probably can't even see them. 1, 2, 3, 4 trees, and funnily enough, they're all mostly in streamside reserves. I'm inside a new remnant that I haven't been to before, and here is an original tree. This was here before the plantation was established, and it's not marked. And in fact, none of this remnant is marked. I'll just take you over to the other side. It's very small, but the point of places like this is they're critical for the survival of natural species, and they're also koala habitat. Here's a tallow wood, here's a casuarina, here's one that if I'd been here before the recent weather events would still be upright. This is a really big casuarina, and on its way down it's just clipped a ringwood. None of this is marked. Those of you who've been watching this series, Great Koala Park Safari, will have been slightly disturbed by the level of noise of the cicadas. Well, they've gone now pretty much. This is a young cicada that's spent most of its life or all of its life in the ground. They hatch every 7 years or so and come up above ground, where they come out of their young juvenile stage and climb up the tree, get as high as they can, and call out to a potential mate. Isn't that an amazing piece of natural wonder? Okay, so here's the photo of the bloodwood in the remnant that I identified. You can see it's well over 2.4 metres, it's probably close to 2.5 metres. There it is. And we'll go back to the polygon itself, place mark 26. And on here, it's that tree there, clearly visible. Now let's go to the tree that forestry's decided is a remnant, up here on Boundary Road. There it is, inside a streamside reserve, not actually in the plantation, surrounded by rocks and basically unavailable for logging. And here it is, another bloodwood, same age as the one I identified inside the remnant. This one is about 2.2 metres diameter now, don't get me wrong. It's an absolutely beautiful tree, but it's unloggable, unlike the one in the remnant, which somehow doesn't appear on the harvest plan operational map. I had to put it on. And if we just go back here again, here we are, over there. And we'll go to forestry's tree. Not especially evident, but I'm not going to throw rocks. Who am I to say that forestry is wrong and that they've just picked a tree that they don't need. Possibly here on the 64, no more, no less evident on the historical aerial photography than the trees I have previously identified. And I've already found several trees that forestry has not identified that's available for logging, unlike this one.